Hello everybody, welcome to the TBR, the Brazilian Readers. My name is Virginia and we are here to talk about all the amazing books I've read recently. I am super late for this video. Juliana is going to kill me. Anyway, let's go ahead and yap about books. So recently I've decided to dedicate more attention to other writers that I really love, but still have a lot of backlog to read. One of those writers is Wilkie Collins. I love him so much. The Moonstone, one of my favorite books. I love The Woman in White. So I decided to read Basil. I have this amazing edition from, it was crowdfunded by a publisher here in Brazil, and we follow poor little Basil. Oh, poor boy. He is a rich boy, a rich young man that sees himself victim of scheme, let's say. He is it's really protected and spoiled by his family. He has an older brother that is really problematic. He has a ton of wrongdoings in his life, and his father is a bit traumatized by everything that happened. So he puts a lot of pressure on Basil to do right, to be a good son, to be the proper heir to the business of the family and all that. But little Basil falls in love. He sees a young girl on a street, follows her, and like he's smitten. He's completely in love. And he doesn't know what to do because he sees that she is the daughter of a poor man. Not poor, but middle-class man. Something his father will never accept. So he starts a relationship with this family in secret, and he proposes that they get married, but keep it a secret until he is of age, that will receive his money or something like that, and then they will be open, and they are already married for a long time, so his father will not be able to do anything. However, the father of the girl makes a counteroffer, telling him that yes, they can marry and they can, but they need to be married for 1 year without consummating the marriage. Weird, right? So yeah. And then comes along another man. He is the girl's tutor, and he's really handsome, and weird things starts to happen with this relationship and the dynamic of all the people in this group. And one day little Basil decides to follow his wife, because he does get married to her, and then he decides to follow his wife, and he finds out that maybe things were not what they seemed, and everything goes down here from there. And it was an amazing read. I was so invested. I wanted to stop everything I was doing, stop working, and just read to see what the hell would happen. What is the secret? Why everything is happening? What is the motivation of these people? Like, amazing. I loved it as always. You can see that it's one of Wilkie Collins' more subdued works, not so over the top as The Moonstone or especially The Woman in White. So, but regardless, I love this. I highly recommend. It's a book that I don't think I ever saw anyone talking about. So yeah, amazing. Love Wilkie Collins. In the same genre of reading my favorite authors with a long backlog, I picked up The Painted Veil by Somerset Maugham. This book was really beautiful. We have a couple. They are married. They live in China. It's Indochina. China. They are in Hong Kong. And her husband is a doctor specialized in infection. And they live in the community of immigrants in China, in the colony, right? And she's having an affair. And with the guy that it's using the old story that he will leave his wife, they will be together, blah, 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 blah. And when the husband finds out, this is not a spoiler, it's like it's in the first pages of the book. This is nothing, just the start of the story. The husband see them together, finds out about the affair, and they are like, oh my god, what they're going to do? And like the husband is super cool and collected and says that she's being stupid, he will not leave his wife for her, and she's not, no, he will, and we will be together and all that. And then she goes to her lover, and yeah, the guy was not planning to leave his wife at all. So the husband decided to get revenge, and they go to a part of the country that it's having a plague, and it's like there's not a lot of plot, but it's the dynamic of these two people that at the end of the day they love each other, but they also hate each other. They are trying to hurt each other. They don't know how to deal with their own feelings, with everything that happened. They can't communicate, and they are in the middle of these circumstances with plague and everything. So it was a bit of a sensitive topic because of the pandemic recently. Still way too fresh. I don't like to read anything regarding diseases that can trigger memories for me. So this was beautiful. It was an amazing book. I love Somerset Maugham. I love the way he portrays relationships, and especially the dynamic of married people and how they hide their feelings and hurt their partner because of that. So yes, The Painted Veil, an amazing read. Really loved it. I need to read Of Human Bondage. I think it's his most famous work for sure, and I still haven't read it, so it's embarrassing considering he is one of my favorite writers. So yeah. The other book that I really loved was The Lady Vanishes by Ethelina White. I have this cute little cover. It's a collection of Alfred Hitchcock books that is inspired Alfred Hitchcock. And in this book we have the socialite that is on vacation, and she's super annoyed. She doesn't want to talk to anyone. She's like, oh my god, leave me alone. And their friends go back home, and she's like, oh, now I'm so bored. Oh my god, she's insufferable. Anyway, she goes on a train to go back home, but she suffers a concussion. We don't know if someone hits her or if she just hurts herself. And she's a bit confused, but she catches the train on time, and she starts a conversation with a person in her cabin. So, and she's super happy because finally she has someone to talk to in English. And they struck a conversation, you know, talk about the weather, about what do you do for a living, all those silly conversations. But she falls asleep, and when she wakes up, the woman is gone. The lady vanished. Anyway, and she asks all the other people there, where is Miss Fry, the lady that I was talking to? And they're like, no. What lady? What are you talking about? And it's a huge story about gaslighting, basically. Everybody treating her like she's insane, like she never talked to anyone, like Miss Fry never existed. And we have an investigation. The tension building in this book is amazing. Ethelina White is an amazing writer. Oh my gosh, no one writes tension and suspense like her. There was a point I was starting to question my own sanity. Am I reading this book? Am I real? Did I read her talking to Miss Fry? What the hell is happening? Amazing, amazing. And then I never seen The Lady Vanished from Hitchcock, and I have an issue with Hitchcock. I like his work, some of his work, but I think he has a terrible, terrible reputation for adapting books. He doesn't get it. I like my biggest I really hate the Strangers on a Train adaptation. I have a whole video in Portuguese ranting about this adaptation. And I had no idea that The Lady Vanishes is 10 times worse than Strangers on a Train. Oh my god, he took this story, this gaslighting, suspenseful story, and turned it into a comedy. Almost a rom-com. I still cannot believe he did that. I hate it. I really, really hate it. I did not like it. I was so angry. There is no convincing me that he read any of these books. He did not read. Like someone told me, oh, it's about a lady that vanishes in a train. And he's like, oh great, that's the story. Like he destroys the essence of the book. And I'm not, I swear to God, I am not one of those people that think that every adaptation needs to be super duper faithful. No, it's just that the essence to be an adaptation needs to be somewhat preserved. And he doesn't do that. He destroys everything. So yeah, I watch it, I hate it. Moving on, let's go back to books. I also read, look at this beautiful cover. Look at that. It's Umberto Eco, The Name of the Rose. It's a mystery that is in a monastery, Benedict. I don't know how to say Benedictine. I don't know, but it's from Saint Benedict, a monastery for Saint Benedict. And William Baskerville goes to this monastery because there are murders, deaths happening, and he is a different kind of monk. He's from he's Franciscano. And Franciscanos are adept of a lifestyle without possession, without money. They beg for food. They just walk asking for help from people and charity and everything. And the book has a lot of discussion around the dilemmas of the Catholic Church regarding money, to be rich and to be poor, and to have or not money. Should the priests and monks have any kind of money? And there's a lot of conversations around that. There is part, the book is set in the 14th century, so it's Inquisition time, and we have a lot of this. And in this monastery there's a lot of that's happening, and they are connected to the library because the monks were translator and they made copies of the books, of the ancient books, Greek, Latin, all kinds of ancient books. And it's really funny because it's connected to another story. I made a video in Portuguese around the conclave, because as you know, Brazilian is one of the biggest Catholic countries in the world. So the Pope, there was a huge coverage with the death of the Pope and the election of the new Pope, the conclave and all that. And I made a video reading books about conclave. So I've read The Name of the Rose, although there is no conclave on this book on page. And I also read from Robert Harris. I will talk pretty soon. But William Baskerville, it's like a woke to use the modern language, he's a woke monk. He likes science, he likes logic, he confronts all the other monks that are super duper faith-based. So it's all, Umberto Eco really wanted to put the idea that if you have the right people in church, you could have a modern church that would respect science and technology and research and everything, and love, and humans in their fault, in their flaws, and there's no such thing. And the ending, however, I really loved this book because the ending was amazing. I watched the movie adaptation in the 90s when I was really young. We saw it at school. And I remembered how the deaths were occurring and why. But I did not have the capacity to grasp the entirety of the meaning of that ending. The final conversation, the final battle between William Baskerville and the murder, and where they are discussing why he's doing what he's doing and why he wants to destroy everything. It, like, watching today, reading today, knowing what is happening, watching the world burn as we speak, and seeing the rise of fascists and the way they operate by trying to destroy culture, books, art, what they call art that doesn't fit the status quo. It was so heartbreaking because it was a 14th century story written in the 80s, and I've read in 2025, and it's super current. It's super visionary of what is happening, because the fascism is the same. We are living, and we are living in a circle, in a hamster wheel, and it's baffling. It's so baffling. And yeah, highly recommend. I had to read this book really fast because I was in a reading vlog, but I highly advise that you read with calm, absorbing, all of the nuances of the discussion. I intend to reread this book in a slower pace so I can revisit all the discussions that I couldn't fully grasp because I was reading a bit too fast. But and regardless, an amazing read. Really recommend. And lastly, I want to talk about Robert Harris' Conclave, the book that originated the movie. And I don't know if it's an easy copy to find, but here in Brazil, the book is like having a moment, and I was really curious to read, and oh my god, I loved it. This was such an interesting read. If you watched the movie, you should definitely read the book because it has a lot of changes, but differently from The Lady Vanishes, it kept the essence of the book. That's why it's an amazing adaptation. Anyway, here we are following Lonelli. He is the personal assistant to the Pope that just died. He's the Carmelengo. I don't know how to say it. Carmelengo. And he is the person responsible to organize the next conclave. And as any election, a conclave, it's super, it has a lot of intrigue and fights and power moves, because to have a pope is really important. Just think about the reaction that the first American pope and the discourse around that happened. And right at this, when everybody is gathering for the conclave, when they are about to lock the cardinals for the election, Lomelli receives some information that one of the cardinals cannot be voted because that pope said that he was no longer eligible, but he doesn't have any proof. So what he's going to do? And they go to the conclave, and a lot of intrigue starts to happen, and it's amazing. It really is amazing. I really want to read more from Robert Harris. I was eating this up. I read so fast. And I really want to read his other book. I have it here. That it's about the ghostwriter. Fantasma, it's ghost. And I think it's from that movie with Pierce Brosnan, The Ghost. It's called The Ghost. And I'm dying to read pretty soon. And I think that's it. Those are the books I've read lately that I really loved and recommend and wanted to yap about it. So please subscribe, like this video, and yeah, see you next time.